Welcome back to Vigor. You may notice that the game looks a little different right now than it usually does on my stream. That's because I'm playing on the Switch. One of the nice things about a game being free is that you are free to experiment on various platforms, and it doesn't cost you any extra money. So you'll notice I'm back in my NOOB raincoat. My base has not yet been built up. I'm basically starting from almost nothing. And so the thing that I thought was interesting about this, well, there's a couple things that are interesting. One is how different it looks on the Switch. It's really interesting sort of noticing all of the little shades of detail that go into making a game feel closer to reality on modern, hardware. The Switch is, no shame at all, by the way, to the Switch for having less powerful hardware. That's the whole point. It's a handheld. But yeah, I'm pretty impressed actually how well the team has still, you've got these still like dynamic shadows on the characters. You've still got these, these little highlights on your jacket that really make it look like it's made out of plastic. And like they've got a lot of stuff going on here on a much weaker piece of hardware than my Series X. So you can tell that they've made some, like clever decisions about where to put their energy because, I think the frame rate isn't exactly as ridiculously smooth as it is on the Series X. I'm betting on the stream you can't tell the difference though. So they've done a really great job here. The thing that's going to be a challenge for me is the fact that I'm playing with a Switch controller. Now, I'm using the Pro controller right now, which is definitely setting me up for a little bit more success. Oh, I have no weapon because I got murdered last time. Let's fill from my preset, which is I've built up almost no hardware. And so, oh wait, did I not create a preset? I thought I had. Oh no, I just canceled because I'm using the wrong buttons. That's what I did. So, oh, okay, wow. I guess I am out of guns. Oh no, okay, I've got this gun. Do I just not have enough bullets? I might not have enough bullets. Let's see. Okay, I might have to choose a different gun. Nope. Okay, so what you're gonna see me do is hit the wrong button again and again and again. In menus, the A button and the B button are switched, which means I'm going to have a miserable time trying to make any of the right stuff happen. And it's really interesting, actually, to look at the decisions that they made as they were... Oh, let's grab this one, the Vigor 58. And let's just put 30 bullets in it, because I can't afford anything more than that. Let's rely on people that I kill, if I kill anyone, dropping health. And yeah, okay, so let's load up an encounter. Let's go to Sogbrook, which is a map that I like and I'm familiar with. I'm trying to give myself as much of an edge as I can because this is going to be a disaster because I am not nearly as good using a Switch controller as I am with an Xbox controller. I actually just got a Series X Elite controller, and so the performance of my controller has been impeccable. I have a lot more trouble with the Switch controller, but I'm going to do better with this Pro controller than I do with the Joy-Cons. When I try to play this game with the Joy-Cons, I literally can't make anything good happen whatsoever. So we've got the problem of, just me not being... And I'm not saying this hardware is bad. I'm saying that my habits are tuned to a Series X controller. And so using a Switch Pro controller, there's lots of people who I think do really amazing stuff with a Pro controller. But I'm not as accustomed to it, so I'm going to have trouble with that. And on top of that, they've done an interesting... they've made some interesting decisions around how to adapt the control scheme to the expectations of Nintendo hardware. Because Nintendo hardware, your selection button is on the right, and your cancel button is on the bottom, which is the opposite of what you typically expect from, say, the Xbox. And I think that Sony also follows the more Xbox standard in the West. I think they might follow the Nintendo standard in the East. I'm not sure. I've heard that there's a split there, but I can't verify that. I don't live in Japan. But so on the menus, they've not just switched the A and basically they kept the A and B buttons intact because they're flipped on the controller. The A button still does everything it once did. The B button still does everything it does on the Xbox, but their positions are flipped. They also did that with the X and Y buttons though, most of the time. And so in a menu, with a couple of exceptions, in the menu, the X button does what the X button does, and the Y button does what the Y button does, but they're flopped. And so, but then all of the action mechanics, reloading, jumping, crouching, all of that, they didn't keep it on the letters, they kept it positionally the same way on the controller. So some of the controls of the game, the action controls of the game, are generally following my expectations from the Xbox. But the menu controls are all flipped, with the exception of a couple of things. And so it's like, so predicting what the buttons are going to do is a very, very hard problem for me while I'm playing the game on the Switch. So what you're going to see, presuming that I even successfully managed to get match made into an encounter, which remains to be seen, what you're going to see is me being a disaster at this game, being terrible at it, being unable to do any damage to anyone, and just only surviving if I manage to avoid conflict. Oh, so what? Actually, you know what? Let's cancel this, because if we want to see me being bad at shooting, what we should actually do is play like shootout or elimination or something. Let's go shootout, just because it's less dependent on other people, and also other people will be less dependent on me. And I'm, you know, La Coalición is suggesting that I could actually ruin someone's day by joining their elimination team and just being horrible. So, yeah, La Coalición is pointing out that actually one of the big downsides of using playing the game on the Switch is that the load times are really different, because, you know, the latest generation of Microsoft and Sony hardware was really, really focused on making load times go away. And so I've gotten really, really used to the loading times on on my Series X, and yeah, they are definitely longer on the Switch, though, I mean, for understandable reasons. The Switch was not pushing the boundaries of hard drive technology, and so that's okay. We can tolerate it. So my daughter Phoebe is actually really, really good at Splatoon. She plays, like, she's a huge Splatoon fan. She plays it all the time. It's like one of her main pastimes with her friends. And I was asking her, like, how do you play a shooter on Nintendo hardware? Because I have such trouble making the Pro controller work for me. And she said that she actually plays with the Joy-Cons and she does fine. But she pointed out that that Splatoon, there's actually a couple things about Splatoon that make it sort of more accessible on this kind of hardware. One thing is they actually do rely a little bit on motion control for fine aim. And so you'll make your course aim decisions, you know, with your course aim controls are on the stick, but then you can waggle the screen around a little bit, or like waggle your Joy-Cons around a little bit to get much more precise. And so she uses both in concert to be precise, which actually makes a lot of sense. And then the other thing is that, of course, you're not firing like hit scan, hyper precise rifles or anything like that. You're firing globs of paint. And actually it made me realize that you know, there's lots of reasons why Splatoon involves globs of paint. It's a really huge, like, you know, like IP differentiator. You're shooting globs of paint, you're taking over the map with globs of paint. You can, like, people, you know, my daughter and her friends like to spell messages on the ground out of the paint, things like that. And so there's a lot of reasons why the paint is there. But one of the big reasons, I think, is if you don't have the most precise and easy to use hardware for aiming and shooting in a shooter, why don't you have people fire globs of paint that are huge and follow, you know, sort of arcing paths and things like that, and like get people, you know, basically reduce their expectation of precision, and then it's okay if you're not very precise. So Stone Gullet is actually suggesting there might actually be some controls that I could use to make this better. That, like, there actually might be controls in which I have not really explored. There might actually be controls in Vigor that would let me make this a little better for myself. So yeah, so let's try it out vanilla, and then see if there's any you know, choices that I can make that make this work better for me. So I'm definitely I've got just barely 30 crowns. I have actually started getting into the habit of occasionally contributing crowns to sort of plus up the prizes for a match, which surprises me. That is not the kind of purchase I typically make in these kinds of games, like the sort of consumable purchases where you use it, you might not even get any benefit from it, but you're just sort of throwing your money around. I don't typically do that in any other game, but Vigor has made me want to do it, in part because even if I think I'm gonna die, I have the, oh wait, okay, I need to hold the Y button, which is in the X position, in order to ready up. I like the fact that even if things go badly for me, I'm still giving everyone else a benefit. Oh, whoa. I started at a different spawn point. That was strange. Okay, there's a guy. Where'd he go? Did he go around this corner? Did he just continue on? Did he go inside the wagon? He might have gone inside the wagon. Nope. Okay, I totally saw a dude. How can I show people how crap I am at this game if there's no one for me to miss? Okay, I'm really used to... Oh, crap. Yes, I killed someone! For the first time on Switch. Okay, so... I can't use menus! Okay, so what actually... Probably the most... Let me just hide back here. Probably the most annoying thing. The most annoying control problem that I have. Is the fact that I'm... Oh, there we go. Getting killed. Is the fact that... On the Xbox... Oh, there. A is in the wrong place. On the Xbox... The button for clearing out an inventory is the same button as the button for interacting with an inventory. So you interact with the inventory, like the container or whatever, and then you push the same button to clear it. But oh gosh, wow. But on the Switch, they're different buttons, and so my entire habit for clearing. Why am I spawning in the same place all the time? So my entire habit for clearing containers is just has to be completely different, which just drives me absolutely nuts. One thing that also drives me nuts is like the implementation of stereo sound. I just keep looting my own body because I keep dying. The implementation of stereo sound in this is actually... Okay, I couldn't even see that guy in the dark. Wow. I knew he was there, but I literally couldn't see him, so I didn't know what to aim at. Oh, the worst spawn point in the entire map. This place is garbage. And I've got a shotgun. This is the worst spawn you can have. A shotgun in this stupid tunnel. Because there's only one way you can go. People can see you coming. Anyway, so the stereo sound. Okay, I'm just going to run up here and be an idiot. Yep, fired too soon. All right. The stereo sound, so I can hear my own footsteps. Really? The same spawn point? You jerks. I can hear my own footsteps out of my right ear, but not my left ear. And I don't know if you're hearing the same thing, or the footsteps might actually be a little bit subtle. So they might not be coming through, because I usually have the game audio tuned way down in OBS. But it drives me crazy, because if I'm hearing it in the center... Dang it, I could not get my crosshair to this guy. If I'm hearing it in the center, then it feels like my footsteps. But if I'm hearing it out of one ear, it feels like it's somebody else's footsteps. And so I'm just constantly getting freaked out. That there's somebody else nearby that I'm hearing, when I'm not. I'm not hearing anyone else. I am hearing somebody reload. Crap. Oh, there he is. Not that I'm going to be any good at shooting him. There he is. That was my own dumb fault. I swear I'm much better at this when I'm playing on an Xbox. But it's funny, like, the ways in which I'm dying don't feel like they're controller dependent. So I don't know how to explain it. I do perform much better at this game. Okay, there's people shooting each other. I might get an opportunity for a cheap gank here. Except no. Are they way back in the woods? They could also be underground. Is that a person? Probably. Nope, it's a bush. Oh, but there's a person. There is a person. Oh, man, I hate those people. So, Kirsten, the Kirsten shootout map, is just a long, thin corridor. And there are certain players who just lie down at one end of the corridor and just shoot at anybody who comes in. Look at me, unable to win that. Oh, let's look at the scoreboard. Oh, wow, someone's doing worse than me. That's actually pretty amazing. How? How did someone manage? Oh, that's not how you... Whatever. How did someone manage to play worse than me? Okay, did they go down this way? Did they go over here? Oh, crap. There. Oh, I got him. Oh, but I will not get this guy. Nope. So you can see me like haphazardly moving my camera around, not really being able. Excuse me. Not really being able to get it where I want it to be. Okay, so this idiot's still over here. Oh, nope. Somebody killed him. Cool. I'm still just hearing my own footsteps out of my right ear, and it's going to drive me nuts. Oh! Weird. Okay. I thought I saw him facing the other way, so I thought I was sneaking up on him. I didn't realize I had to beat him to the punch. Oh, now I've got a revolver. These are terrible. These high-caliber revolvers are just like... You get one shot, and you're probably dead. Yeah, I didn't even get a crate. I got nothing. Just 75 experience points. So La Coalition is pointing out that apparently opening crates gets you points. I didn't realize that. I didn't know. So I know that, like, I think getting a kill gets you 100 points. You see, like, I got 2 kills. I've got 270 points. I didn't know where the other 10s came from. I didn't know if they came from assists, like damaging somebody, or what. But did they come from opening crates? Is that all it takes? So if I just ran around, snuck around, and opened a bunch of crates, could I actually get, like, a significant score? I mean, probably not nearly as much as actually killing people would get me, but... So, Coalition recommends running and shooting without aiming, since you move faster when you're firing. So basically the idea is to sort of... So I see people do stuff like that. Like, there's a lot of, you know, aggressive, obnoxious players who, when they're running around in the world, what they do is they just constantly run, and they're, like, constantly weaving like this. Even when there's nobody around, they're just constantly doing this to make it really difficult for them to be hit. And so they're not trying to be cautious. They're just figuring that if somebody tries to shoot at them, they're going to miss anyway, and then they'll get to counterattack. So Stone Golden is suggesting that it's my headphones that are causing my sound issue. Well, so that surprises me just because, I mean, they work just fine on when I'm playing on the Xbox. On the Xbox, my footsteps are exactly where I expect them to be. It's only on the Switch where they're not doing what I expect. Here, let's get another shootout going. Oh, so Jedi Psychics just showed up and for me weaving around, which unfortunately she gets motion sick, and so that was probably not a good move for her. Sorry about that. So let's, that's not what I meant to do. Go away, go away. What did I mean to do? I meant... Oh, I just canceled matchmaking by accident. Well, that's stupid. Okay, here we go. So... Audio and video controls. Video voice volume, safe frame. Yeah, so I can adjust volumes, but I don't think I can adjust anything that would change fundamentally the way that my sound works. Okay, so Laconis is saying that apparently the scoring in shootouts, which I don't even know how you found this out. He says it's 100 per kill, 150 per headshot, 300 per melee, and 350 per melee headshot, whatever that is. Okay, so if I'm very careful, and I'm thinking, like, I can sort of get my crosshair onto things. But, like, in those moments where, like, somebody was just, like, right up in my face, and I needed to get my crosshair on them, I was just not able to do it. So Stone Golden is suggesting it could be a problem with my audio jack. So I did actually, at one point here, I'm unplugging and replugging in my audio. I did have a problem a little bit earlier today where I was getting, like, nothing out of one ear. And when I was getting nothing out of one ear, that definitely felt like it was a problem with my audio jack. I unplugged and replugged it and it worked just fine. But in that particular case, I was getting audio out of both ears, but it was just my own footsteps were the only thing that were showing up on only one side. And I could still see them being on a different track or something from everybody else, or I don't know the right audio terminology. Sorry, audio friends out there. But what was I trying to say? Yeah, so that still could be true. So yeah, so maybe I'll find that now that I've unplugged and replugged my headphones, maybe I will find that the sound is different. Let's remember to ready up this time. So, La Coalition says that because shootout and elimination crates give you a lot of experience, once he has actually earned the entire battle pass, he actually will hold on to them. He'll sit on them for a really long time to use them for experience on the next battle pass. That's interesting. So I do actually like to save up my crates, not for experience, but just because... Oh, again, I'm in this stupid tunnel. All right. But just because it's fun to open lots of crates at once. So, okay, there's something on that side of me. Yes! Okay, no, I'm pushing the A. Dang it. I was pushing the A button to get out of there because that's where the cancel button is. On an Xbox. Whoa. Oh, you see how I just wanted to aim a little bit to the right. Oh, crap. I can't get out of this freaking menu. Ah, what's happening to me? Pushing all the wrong buttons. One thing that's nice, though, is when you're playing, like, when you're not feeling good about your skills in this game, which I am not on the Switch. Oh, look, I did so much damage to that guy. If I'd gotten a headshot, he would have been dead. But yeah, but shootouts are really great because, and actually, here and there, I've heard people, like, you know, I've gotten angry messages from people or whatever because they got frustrated by a shootout. And I'm like, I don't understand how you get frustrated by a shootout. Like, getting frustrated in an encounter makes sense. You might have brought some valuable supplies in there. You might have actually, you know, been on your way out with a bunch of valuable supplies and you lost them forever. And I could see that feeling weird. Oh, crap. So my trap did hit him, but it's a non-lethal trap. It would have been funny if I was actually planning a lethal trap and he got killed after that. I was just planning that trap for fun. I don't know, because nothing else I'm doing is working right. So why not just plant a trap? So yeah, I am still only hearing my footsteps out of my right ear. And I was actually having a similar problem when I was playing with my, like, Apple earbuds on the, I was playing with the Switch and Joy-Cons. Only it wasn't just only exclusively hearing out of one ear. It was, like, I would hear one footstep out of, like, I'd hear my right footstep out of my right ear and my left footstep out of my left ear. Which was weird. It's like the microphone was directly between my legs. It's like I had a crotch microphone. Which was, nobody wants a crotch microphone. Okay, I'm getting, I think, maybe a little bit better at this. I mean, I'm obviously not good at it yet. thing is, when I excel at a game like this, it's usually not because I've got amazing athletic skills. It's usually because I end up behind people. It's usually because I'm good at sneaking around. So I think that's... Whoa! Okay. So I think that's the advantage that I've got right. That's the only thing that is working in my favor right now, is that I've been getting behind people. And so some of that is just luck. Some of it is sort of anticipating other people, knowing where to go. But some of it is just like, oh, I ended up behind you, ha ha ha, and I just didn't ruin everything, so... But that is a nice thing about this game. It's what makes it possible for a new player to actually get into it and enjoy themselves. What? Stop. I don't know who was shooting at me, but they needed to stop. Okay, reload. Let's see. Do I have any heals? I do. Let's heal real quick. And then let's leave a fun surprise in here. Oh wait, can I? Yes, I can. Can I? Maybe I can't. Yes, let's leave a fun surprise in here for the next person who comes in. So my last session on the Xbox, I got killed by the worst person. They were... So not only did they kill me by trapping the signals detector, so it was towards the end of the game, and I was nervous about whether, you know, an exit might be camped. And so I went to the signals detector to find out. And unfortunately, the signals detector was right by a fence, which meant, you know, I hopped over the fence to get to the signals detector. And because I couldn't see the base of the signals detector over the fence, I couldn't see that it was trapped up the wazoo. And so I got destroyed. And then, you know, because then it switched to the guy who had killed me. So I could see him, and he did like a little, one of those like little mocking emojis, not emojis, but mocking, what do you call them? Gestures? He did a mocking gesture. And then it became really obvious that he was camping the exit that I would have headed towards without going to the signals detector. So no matter what, this guy was going to kill me. Either by trapping the signals detector or by camping my exit. But I thought it was just funny, he was just like basically the worst person. Where is my gun? Okay. I seriously have no idea what happened to my gun just there. Oh crap. Oh crap. But I was just like, you know, so I couldn't even feel bad because I was just like, oh yeah, this guy killed me. He was inevitably going to kill me. But that's okay, because he's clearly a bad person. And so I win at life. Even though he won that fight, he's both an exit camper and a SIGs trapper. So I'm just like, you know, yeah, sure, I lost, but come on. Okay, Oh. Come on, I'd like to... Dang it! Oh! Oh, he deserved that. He got me. He also deserves the shot in the back he's about to get. Oh, no, I'm sorry. Did I say that the, that the tunnel was the worst spawn point? No, the column is the worst spawn point. Like, there's literally only one move you can make, and it's exposing yourself to the enemy. Oh, crap. Dang it, I was about to switch guns and try to shoot that guy, but nope. But yeah, you're just like... In this spawn point, you're just trapped in like this very narrow place with only a couple of ways to get up. And all of those ways can just be camped. Oh, good. Now I'm freaking down here. I know that that guy is up there because I was just watching him. And now I've just got a freaking shotgun. With a really slow fire rate. Okay. Yep, well, I got one shot off on him, but it would have been like a full second before I could get another one. Alright. Yeah, Coalition points out that shotguns are supposed to be run-and-gun weapons. I just can't... I don't think of this as a run-and-gun game. Oh, wait, I should have tried to grab another weapon if I can. Oh! If I can get killed, I mean. Oh, hi. No, that's not what these buttons are supposed to do. Oh, I got him! What? What? No. Okay, somebody's down there. Holy crap! Okay, final showdown. Oh, I'm killed at the end. That's fine, that's fine. I always get killed in the last man standing. Yes, I was number 2! Wait a minute. Was that last person I shot Yoshiman, or that he shot me, Yoshiman? If I had killed him, if I'd been more careful and I had just been running around like an idiot, I could have won. Oh, man. Okay, well, you know what? I am actually feeling a little better about playing on the Switch now. It's just, I have to get my habits, my expectations to really, really change in order to make that work. Yeah, so Coalition says that short-range weapons are really good to sort of rush at the enemy and, you know, like doing that dodgy move, probably, rushing at the enemy and hitting them from close range. It just, like, you know, without even aiming in. I could totally see that. And I think that, yeah, there are definitely a lot of cases where that is the way to go. Let's do an actual encounter. I think it's probably my last session, but let's do an actual encounter. I agree with you in theory. In practice, I have trouble playing that way. It just feels too risky. I always want to crouch. I always want to be sneaking around, taking people out at... Not at long range. I'm not a sniper. I don't have the patience to be a sniper. But, like, I'm like a medium range engager. I like to have, say, an assault rifle or certain LMGs or just semi-auto rifles that are good at tackling people at medium range. That's where I'm most comfortable. That's where I can, like, sort of take cover, flank people, run around that way. You know, it's less down to, you know, like this skill, jumping around. You know, is like not a thing that I just ever think of wanting to do in battle. But if you're a running gunner, it's like you need to be doing this kind of nonsense to get your head, you know, out of range of the other person's shots and all that nonsense. Oh, hey there, Fungus Spade. Oh, yeah, no problem on the raid. Actually, you should probably give the credit to Cogs242. He often, when he's in the chat, he'll often recommend people for me to raid at the end of a session. And so, yeah, so Cogs gets the credit for pointing you out. I hadn't even looked at Twitch. I wasn't sure who I was going to raid, and he was like, you should raid Furious Spade. I'm like, okay, sure. So, yeah, let's see how I can do in an actual encounter. I'm going to sneak around as much as possible. And try to avoid conflict, because I'm still not expecting to be any good at it. The fact that I had one decent shootout does not mean I am good at this game yet on the Switch. So, I'll be cautious. I'll try not to get into any trouble, and we'll see how this goes. What you'll probably see is, I mean, all of these people over here with their fancy guns and their fancy outfits are looking over at me and Joshua 21 and You'll Forgive the and saying, yes, noobs to prey upon. And they're probably right. We are probably noobs for them to prey upon. Both Coalition and I, the other day, we both got into encounter matches where it was basically us and 11 noobs. And in his case, he like cleaned up. In my case, I actually got into a couple of stupid standoffs with a couple of noobs where it's like both of us were watching each other and both of us were kind of in trouble, and so we couldn't move. And it ate up a lot of time. And I was like, oh, I should have been able to just rampage all over that map and just get all kinds of loot. But instead, I just, got away with decent stuff. I was like, when you're in a map full of noobs and nobody else knows how to play, you can really have an advantage. Not just like at the shooting, just at the knowing where to go and knowing what to do side of things. Okay, so I'm going to head to the signals detector first, just to see if there's any gaps in competitor distribution. So yeah, so I hold Y, there we go. I just got to remind myself what button does what. Okay, so the challenge is going to be to remember how to close my map after I look at this. So let's see. So I have to open my map. Where is everyone? 2 guys in the north. Not a lot of guys in the middle. There's somebody heading for the safe. It might be kind of fun, actually, to head over to the safe. See if I can mess with this guy. Oh, ooh, somebody used a portable. You know what? I'm betting it's Safe Guy. I think Safe Guy probably just used a portable signals detector to find out who was nearby before he starts opening the safe. So what that means is he knows what direction I'm in. And I'm confidently running this direction because I saw there was nobody in the center of the map. So, which makes sense. At the beginning of the match, everyone starts usually at an edge, except for certain maps that, where the edges would be too crowded. Like Grandtime Valley, for instance. I don't think you can put everybody at the edge. So I was just going to run laterally first. And I shouldn't actually be opening cars, because those can reveal your position. Okay, let's look at the map. Okay, yeah, so what I want to do is come at him from an angle he's not expecting. If I can get to him at all. Oh, except he just used it again.
If you want the airdrop to fall into a different zone,
all right, Mr. Moneybags.
use the comm station.
Oh, and now I'm... All right, so Mr. Moneybags over there has got all the portable signals detectors he wants, which means I can't sneak up on him and flank him. So I'm pretty sure he's probably already got the safe open, and he's headed out. Okay, I just need to get a little bit away from that. So yeah, I think there's probably no point in me going after him. So let's instead... It's so weird to have, like, officially not discovered a lot of the map yet. Because, of course, I've played in these maps so many times, thoroughly explored them all, marked off all of the little triangles that show you where you've been and where you haven't. But now I'm, like, a noob again, and I have to sort of, like, earn back all of that cred. Okay, so I found that spot. Where else do I want to go? I guess we can head down here. So yeah, one of my favorite strategies is to just haunt the signals detector. Like, use the signals detector to figure out where people are not. Oh, somebody's been here. Run down to a place where there's nobody, collect a bunch of stuff, then head back to the signals detector, detect again, and just keep going to places where there aren't people. And it's kind of fun. Like, if you see the signals detector firing pretty frequently, what you can probably assume is that somebody who's doing something similar to that. Either they're coming and going constantly, which means that if you go to the signals detector, you will probably encounter someone. And so you have to be cautious. Or it means... I've noticed some snipers like to snipe from right next to the signals detector. So they'll use the signals detector to locate potential targets, and they'll stay right close to the signals detector. And so in those cases, you really have trouble. Like, you got to be really prepared if you want to go to the signals detector, because it's one of the most useful things on the map, but it's also... Yeah, when somebody's camping it, they're camping it. They're serious about it. And yeah, often it's because I think, the people who are interested in upgrading their battle pass, and people who are interested in progressing their shelter, especially, their main goal in these encounters is to get resources. Oh, if somebody's just been through all of this stuff, I'm just following along behind somebody, getting almost nothing. I should just head a fundamentally different direction. I should go up this way. Oh yeah, of course. This is the area next to the disruption tower. So of course, if the disruption tower went off, that means that somebody was in this area. So I'm wasting my time. But anyway, so yeah, so people who are new to the game want to upgrade their shelter, so they want resources. People, when there's a new battle pass, everybody wants resources because that's one of the fastest ways to level up is to collect resources. One of them. There's definitely others. But when you're getting sort of late in a battle pass, you'll notice that there's a lot of players who they stop being interested in resources. It's like there's a lot of I used to assume. Oh hey, I wonder if there's something buried here. I used to assume that if an area had all of its resources lying around on the ground, that meant that that nobody had been through there, and I would feel fairly safe. But that's not true. A lot of players who already have their shelters upgraded and who have already made all the progress they want to, like for instance, someone like La Coalition who might make most of the progress on a battle pass just by cashing in a bunch of crates that he's stored up over time. In a situation like that person might not want resources at all. In which case, I think that's probably the case for a lot of these snipery types. They don't want resources. All they want to do is kill other players. And so because of that, they think differently from me. So it makes it hard for me to predict their behavior because I tend to think, what would I do in this situation? And so when I'm playing against somebody who thinks in a fundamentally different way from me, it's harder for me to predict them than it's harder for me to play against them. So, La Coalition is commenting on the weapon that I've got, which is the Vigor 58. And he says that apparently the first time he ever saw this gun was in State of Decay. I didn't recognize Vigor 58 as a name. Did we name it something else? Because we do that all the time. We will file the serial numbers off guns, not in the literal sense, but in the sense of... sorry, I just was trying to figure out what was going on there. But in the sense of, not having them be recognizable or suable. And so did we call it? Did we call it a different name, or did we just call it the Vigor 58? I just lost track. All right. I do appreciate that. Which direction did I go? Oh, I'm just back down in this place. Well, you know what? I need to discover this place anyway, so I'm just going to... Let's just mark the spot I need to stand in order to have officially discovered this place. I'm probably not going to find... Nope. I'm probably not going to find a lot of loot here, but that's okay. Yeah, this door was closed, so maybe no one came through here. Signs point to that not being the case.
Collecting the airdrop is rewarding, but it's also challenging to escape the other Outlanders.
Where was the airdrop again? Oh, it was way up there. Okay. So, one other thing that sort of shows differences between players. Some players have really good door closing hygiene. They will close every door they pass through. And so you can't tell from the outside whether or not they're in a building or whether or not they have been through a building. The building just looks pristine. And you have to go inside to realize, oh no, they've taken all this stuff. I have moderate door closing hygiene. If I'm going into a large place where somebody might happen upon it while I'm inside, I will often close the door behind me so that they have to open it and make a noise in order, so I'll be able to hear them coming while I'm exploring the house. And that has helped me a few times, and so I always do that. Well, not always, obviously, because I just had to remind myself to do it. But okay, looks like this has probably already been raided. Some people close literally every door they pass through. I'll leave open closets and stuff like that. But there's some players who they never ever leave a door unclosed. And so it freaks me out a little bit sometimes because I'll go through an area and every door will be closed, but there will not be a single thing in any of the containers. And I'll be like, okay, You can have a building that spawns that way. I think some of the buildings that are right near player spawn points tend to have lower loot profiles. I think it's just because so the player doesn't just, loot one building and say, oh, I've got enough, and then leave, because that's just kind of boring, right? Oh, that's me. So I think that they actually consciously, like there's this one area in Broadland Bridges that drives me nuts because it's got this really nice settlement that's like full of a bunch of buildings, some larger buildings, some residential buildings. You're like, oh yeah, this is probably full of loot, and I get kind of excited, even though I know now that it is not full of loot. Every time I look at it on the map, it just looks like a great source of loot. It's got a little cluster of building footprints that makes it look like a good place for loot, and so I'll go there, get all excited, and there's almost no loot in there every single time. The little cluster of buildings at the top of Broadland. And I'm just like, what's going on? But I think it's because they usually spawn like 3 players up there, right on top of it. And it's like the first place they often go. And so I can imagine it being one of those cases where they're like, if they want players to participate in the rest of the map, they can't have that be a really bounteous area. I guess that's a guess. But I don't think that actually is borne out because, for instance, some of my favorite places to loot are, there are these little villages in Fiskefabrik and in Sagbrook. Both of them, in Sagbrook's southeastern corner and in Fiskefabrik's northwestern corner, there are these little fishing villages. They're big clusters of buildings with tons of loot in them. And if I spawn in that area, I just try to, take out any competitors I have in that local area, and then I just vacuum that area up and leave. And so, yeah, so I don't really know. I don't really know what the thinking is there. Okay, so I just realized I've already been to this spot because it's like one of my favorite spots. So I'm going to... I mean, the timer's going to fire any second, right? Actually, the timer's going to fire any second. I should start moving towards an exit. So let's mark this spot on the way to an exit. I don't think I get experience or anything from exploring these locations. I think they just fill in on the map, and it just makes me happy. So
radiation is coming. Better run to the nearest exit.
Enderling says, I pretty much just donate all my guns to the Outlands. So I'm not sure what you're referring to there. Are you talking about an actual game mechanic, or by donate my guns to the Outlands, do you mean run into an encounter and get killed and lose your gun to the person who killed you? Because I do that all the time. But it seems like maybe you might be talking about something else. I don't know. So I think you all probably just heard the, yay, wooden bridge discovered. You probably all just heard my calendar notification. I do have a meeting coming up, which is good timing because I'm about to get out of here by one means or another. Either I'm going to reach this exit, or I'm going to get killed on the way to this exit, or someone's going to scare me off this exit and I'll die of radiation poisoning while trying to get to another one. Okay, no crows. So nobody's here. So I think we have time to get out before we die. Yay! That was a successful encounter of me not encountering anyone. Which is what you hope for when you absolutely suck at the shooting in a game like this. You want no one to see you. So it's kind of fun. Like, I didn't get a whole lot, but I think because I'm so new to the game and I'm so early in the battle pass, I think that I might actually still get significant progress out of it. Okay, so Enderling says by donate, I mean die a lot. Okay, yeah, that's what I thought you meant, but I didn't want to assume that that's what you were saying. Okay, so I did level up my battle pass. It's weird to be earning the same battle pass stuff separately in 2 different accounts. So I have not paid for the battle pass on the Switch, so I'm only be getting the top row of things. So La Coalition says that I do get an achievement for completely exploring several maps. And yeah, and I have gotten that achievement. So that is the one benefit of it. But, like, I'm not worried about achievements on the Switch. So there we go. Okay. Oh, wow. I've unlocked so many things that I can't get. That's okay. So let's have a look at our equipment. Let's refill this from a preset. Oh, right. I never actually made a new preset out of my... Well, let's make a new preset. The thing is, a preset is easier to do when you've collected a bunch of weapons. My problem is I don't have a bunch of weapons. I mean, I guess I've got 2 of these, so it doesn't hurt for me to make a... Oh, wait, no. I've only got 100 bullets. Okay, we're going to do this. This is going to be our preset, but I'm going to have to remake it as soon as I've died a couple of times. But let's actually open some crates. I don't know if I've opened crates on the air, but I think I've got a few, and this might actually help me with my terrible weapon situation. So let's open a few, and then I'll head to my meeting. So Enderling is surprised that I'm playing on Switch. Yeah, I normally do not play on Switch. Normally I play on my Series X, and the game is really, really good on the Series X. It takes full advantage of the improved performance, the faster load times, just the appearance of everything is definitely up a notch. I guess I'll get a bunch of fuel and glass out of this one. But I just decided to try it out on the Switch, partly just because if I can enjoy this game on the Switch, that means I can play it in bed. And I'm so obsessed with this game, I want to literally play it all the time. And so that's nice. I don't have a Steam Deck or anything like... Wait, no, Steam Deck wouldn't let me do this because this game is not on PC. So, yes, if I want to play it in bed, my only option... Yeah, I got a blueprint. My only option is to play it on the Switch. So, so I actually kind of... So I wanted to explore this. If I can actually get good at playing the game on the Switch, this will become a boon to my life. No, it won't. It'll become an obsession that I just absolutely am damaged by, probably. But you know what? I mean, loving a game so much you want to play it literally all the time, I mean, there are worse problems to have, right, than that. So I'm not going to complain. Anyway, so I did get a handful of additional guns, which is going to help. And so one thing I could actually do is just play a lot of shootouts to get used to my, used to shooting people, get used to how the aim works in this game. And then once I've gotten used to how the aim works in this game, I will also have built up a lot of resource crates, which will have hopefully given me a bunch, of guns. And then I can use those guns in encounters to go collect resources and make a little bit more progress. That's probably going to be my strategy playing on Switch. But my real long-term strategy is, of course, to continue playing this on the Xbox, where I'm much, much better at it. So, yeah. So, Coalition says, you will love Vigor on Halloween and Christmas. Ooh, do they do events? That's, that does actually make me excited, Coalition. And we've got one of those holidays this month. Let's see here. No, I have not tried out the community challenges this week, Coalition. That's the one where you were trying to get a really good score at a shooting challenge? No, I did not do that. Yeah, so I haven't done that. But yeah, so it'll be interesting to see what those holidays are like. I will probably, if something hasn't distracted me by then, I will probably do a stream about it, whatever it is. He says it's a nightmare. Okay, well, cool, can't wait. Okay, I gotta get to this meeting, so let's wrap this up. There is a subscribe button. Here is links to other videos. I assume I'm going to stream Vigor again because it's my favorite thing, and so that video will go there when it's ready.